Hey guys, Fruit Loop here. I am solo. Supposed to get this out yesterday, and we had internet difficulties from the storm and all that we had a few nights ago. So no internet. So Gigi was at her concert stuff, and that went good. So we want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Two Cool T-shirt Quilts, and you can visit them at www.twocooltshirtquilts.com. Somebody posted about this being a forward slash or backslash. I think this is it's considered forward slash. I think they said it's not considered forward slash, but anyways, that's what I call it. Forward slash pretty lies and alibis to get your quilt or pillow or what else you want them to do. They're awesome. Andrea and them do a great job. I'm actually sending mine this week. I'm so excited. I got my shirts ready to go. So go visit them, and they can take your t-shirts and make them into a quilt that is too cool. So we're gonna jump right in this. It's Sunday night. It's kind of late here. It's like 9:15. So we're starting to go through Zulima's text messages, and we've never went through these all at once. We picked some, but we've never went through these. So the redaction was a little. They had some issues with some of the redactions because you can still see Lori's name, so we know where it's coming from, and if it's from Lori, obviously it's incoming and all that. So we're gonna jump into it. This will be easier next week with Gigi back, but so I'm just gonna kind of break it down a little bit for you. So we're gonna jump into it, and you can see just how crazy all this talk was. So this is from Lori to Zulema. This is my new number. Use it. So again, we see her talking about getting a new cell number, and that is on February 4th, 2019. So also from Lori, it's Lori. Uh, Zulema texts back, can I stop a creepy guy from bothering one of my disabled clients? Can I shield her? Yes, you can. Cast out, then shield. Describe the shield with size and color, and then nothing else. Zulima responds, I am on my way to the temple. I wanted to tell you that it was Jerry who is blocking me from Revelation. He's a 4.2 dark. So here again, we see the scale. Um, so from Lori to Zulima, I could feel it. I'm sorry. That's always hard to take. From Lori to Zulima, after lunch yesterday, I got another new number. And this is a little bit broken up here. I think it was redacted a little bit. Um, so we can't really tell what else that says. So here again, that was on February 5th. So we see February 4th, she got a new number. And then February 5th, she's got another new number. So this is just more evidence of all the cell phones that they had. From Lori to Zulima, it's Abraham 418. This is Lori. I'm using both numbers. From Lori to Zulima on February 20th. So we see a big gap here. That last text was on it's Abraham 418 was on February 20th. And so there was like a 15-day gap where they didn't use this phone. So obviously, either there's more phones or who knows what's going on, but they were probably communicating with other phones. So from Lori to Zulima, I did it last night. So yesterday it rained hard all day, but I didn't care because I flew over to Oahu and spent the day at the temple. So last night I commanded the clouds and rain to cease for the whole day today, and it has been sunny and beautiful all day. But the forecast called for rain all week. That scripture made me more patient. So again, they're trying to control the elements. From Lori to Zulima on 218, the clue for me is giving them the time to obey. From Lori to Zulima, same day, 2019. They can do it immediately, but I needed to learn the process, if that makes sense. To Lori, again on 220. This is from Zulima. That makes perfect sense to me. I've been experiencing the delay and learning that the elements need the time. You just confirmed it. I bought the massive storm that's hitting. I brought the massive storm that's hitting the U.S. right now. I didn't think I could, which tells me I'm getting better at it. After this last weekend, I feel stronger, more confident. That's amazing what you're doing. How long before you stop a storm? So from Lori to Zulema on 2/20/2019. No, think it needs a few hours. To Lori from Zulema, that makes sense. Wow, you're doing great and amazing things. Your gifts are getting stronger. Even in the midst of opposition, you rise. You're an amazing goddess. Guys, what the world? This is from Lori. So are you. To Lori on 2/20, there was a picture sent, and that doesn't show up. It's just blank. So there was some type of photo sent from Lori to Zulema 3 days later on 2/23/2019. Thanks for clearing the way for me yesterday. It worked beautifully. You are so powerful. I love you so much. Zulema responds, yes, I'm so happy you are safe. Thank you for letting me know. I love you. And you is capitalized with an exclamation. So 5 days go by, and on this text thread, to Lori from Zulema, he blessed me with a thinner veil and the God of heavenly things. So powerful. That's exactly what's happened since I got back. Have a safe trip. It was great to see you again. So obviously there had been some type of visiting somewhere. So from Lori on 2/28 to Zulema, you are so wonderful. I love spending time with you. I always learn so much. To Lori, I learned so much from you today. Thank you for making time for me. And thank you, HF, for letting me know you were coming to see me. From Lori to Zulema on the same day, 2/28. That was so cool. I did ask him yesterday to see you. He's so good. To Lori, 2/28/2019. Yes, I'm so happy he did that for us today. There was a part on Chad's blessing that he said I would travel through portals to remote places. He says arid places and make them fertile. I really need to start learning about portals. It was so exciting to hear you talk about that today. So here we go, guys, with the portals. To Lori from Zulema on March 1st, 2019. But behold, the power of God was with him, and they could not take him to cast him into prison, for he was taken by the Spirit and conveyed away out of the midst of them. And that's part of that's out of Helaman 10:16. A portal question mark. Is this how the Spirit took him out of the midst of them? I think so. He was using portals. What do you think? From Lori, March 1st. Yes! Exclamation, exclamation, true! Exclamation, exclamation. To Lori. Also, this is right after he was given the patriarchal priesthood on verses 6 to 10. Here's part of the formula. Guys, this is just back and forth. It's just confirmation of things we knew and saw and have heard them talk about. From Lori to Zulema on March 1st. You are too smart! Exclamation, exclamation. From Lori. It's all on the scriptures! Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. To Lori. Lori, the Lord is opening my understanding, and things like this jump out at Melovi, this new intellect. From Lori. It is wonderful. I love him so much. It is really moving fast now. Hold on to your seat. Still March 1st. To Lori. Holding on! Exclamation. You see through this the connection that they had. Now looking back, some of them try to distance themselves from it, but we see through this that they were all in. So this is March 2nd. Outgoing. I have a question for you. If our bodies start changing, and here we go, we discussed this a little bit, and I'm menopausal, does that mean that my body will get out of menopause and go back to a normal cycle? From Lori. That's an interesting question because I was starting to slow down in that regard, but now they are like 20-year-old menstrual cycles now. I don't have a great answer for that. I'm doing research, but there is not a lot to go on right now. Good question for mother. And here you'll see they reference mother and father. And that was the first I'd heard of that reading it. Um, so from Lori on March 2nd, 2019, Serena and I both are going backwards in that regard, like exactly the same. And I think Serena, if I remember right, that's one of the ladies who eventually got out, that was in their little cult thing at the beginning and got out. To Lori on March 2nd, 2019. Oh, yes, I'll ask her. I stopped having my menstrual cycle last year. I was already done. Now I'm back to having it again, like way before I went through menopause. From Lori on March 2nd. Yes, that's me. It started yesterday and it's crazy. Blah, 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 blah. They're getting worse, not better. I wonder what that's about. We told y'all they talked about this. From Lori, March 2nd. This is crazy. Our bodies are really changing. So they're in their belief process, they were getting younger, is what they're saying. To Lori, March 2nd. It reminded me of when I was a teenager. Yes, they are. What's the rate at which we change? From Lori, March 2nd. 4 days younger every day. So their belief was every day they're 4 years younger. I wonder why they're not an infant now. I mean, if you're going backwards in time, it's like Superman on the original Superman when he goes back to save Lois Lane. Lois Lane. I said Loris. No. What the world? Lois Lane from dying. He circled the earth. So here we go again. Wow. From Lori. I know, right? Wow. Let me scroll down. So they ask, when did you start? And from Lori, she says, after we joined hands at the temple. So through this, you'll see they meet at the temple a lot and they conjure up their stuff. And remember, guys, this is for entertainment purposes only, alleged. So they join hands at the temple. From Lori, me too. From Lori, it's horribly crampy. To Lori, what? Oh my, me too. Same here. From, we're assuming Lori, March 2nd. A similitude of the only begotten of the Father. They talk about, if Lori says, from Lori, a similitude of the blood sacrifice. This is to Zulema, be as one with him. To Lori, yes. It reminds us, this is from Lori, it reminds us that we belong to Jesus. From Lori, so when did you have the first one after the year of none? And she said, yes. Zulema says, yesterday. And then she tells Lori, you catapulted me. Lori and her exchange, what? That's crazy. This is bad, but good, I guess, is what Lori says. To Lori, no, you're so powerful, a powerful goddess that can do this and so much more. I felt the power from your hand. It pulsated energy into mine. So again, you see this connection. This is why Zulema has immunity, guys. From Lori, we are becoming one. We have important things to do, and the time is now to get started. We will succeed. You are amazing. To Lori, Namast, the goddess in me recognizes the goddess in you. I love you so much, and I'm grateful that Heavenly Father brought us together. From Lori, me too. You are so powerful, goddess, and you lift me. We have worked together for eons, and I'm so grateful for you. From Lori on March 2nd, 2019. Can you talk sometime today? Zulema, yes. I'm prom dress doing with my daughter, but I'll text you when I get home. I got an answer from mother today. And again, you hear mother, father. From Lori, can't wait to hear. Zulema sent a picture. She then texts Lori several hours later, I'm home, call me. Lori sends Zulema a text and says, how can I calm the wind? Here we go. And we're going to end on this one because I was trying to keep this pretty short. Zulema texts her back and says, put your arms out, connect to Mother Earth, lift your arms with a breath, then bring your arms together on front of your chest, then place your palms facing out and push the wind out like parting it out. And Lori texts her back and says, thank you, I'm working on it. That was on March 4th. Zulema says, yes, let me know how it works out and how fast the wind obeys. She says, thank you. Oh, I love you. Thanks for thinking of me. Last one. This is going to be the end of the page. To Lori, Keith texted me to ask to work the Julie Rowe Energy Conference in May and attend it for free. I had a bad feeling about it, so I asked Chad, and he confirmed that I shouldn't go. And this is on March 4, 2019. Yeah, he asked Mel too. This is from Lori. Yeah, he asked Mel too. He still just wants info. So sad. You are awesome. And then Zulema texts back, spy, laughing out loud. So, guys, I'm going to stop. Well, and then Lori responds, yes, ma'am. And we're going to stop right there because we're going to pick this up tomorrow. We'll have a few updates out. We're going to pick this up tomorrow. Sorry it was short, but we just wanted to get this out to get this started. And we hope you guys had a great weekend. And, oh, you know what? I forgot to do my what you know, Fruit Loop. So, did you know, and this will be really fast, I promise. Did you know that the Apollo 11 crew used hundreds of autographs as life insurance? So apparently, when Apollo 11 was going up in space, Neil Armstrong and the crew, they faced a chance they wouldn't be back, so they couldn't get life insurance, and they didn't want to leave their family with nothing. So they signed an enormous load of autographs, which their families would have been able to sell for a lot of money. So the Apollo 11 crew used hundreds of autographs as life insurance. It's going to be on Jeopardy, guys, I promise. So we will catch you tomorrow evening, and we appreciate you listening. Good night.